Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Ordinal ecosystem. What is up, guys? We got a special show for you guys today. We have a founder interview with the founder of Bitmap Valley, IMSO Chris, back again, shattering records. I think it's number 5 for him now, destroying records. He's been on the show more than anybody besides me and Yagobi, which is definitely awesome, and we're glad it's him. And yeah, we're gonna get right into it. We got some Bitmap Valley updates. We're gonna get into the Evolve token. We're gonna get into some stuff that he's working on with Tap. It's gonna be a great show. And at the end, we're gonna get into some TA from him because he's amazing at it. If you followed his calls on the last show we did with him, already flew up, track flew up, stats flew up, just like he said. So it's been absolutely amazing that his calls are that good. So we're gonna definitely talk about that. But without further ado, we bring in my partner, as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What is up? I remembered to unmute this time.
It's all good, man. So we got IMSO Chris back. He's back again for the. I think I want to say the 5th time. I gotta go back and count, but
yeah, for sure, man. Like excited to always have Chris on. You know, one of the amazing builders in the space. I'm excited to hear what these updates are with Bitmap Valley. We have our 2 Bitmap Valleys as well, so I'm excited to jump into it, man. And you're right, like he hit the nail on the head with Ordy with that TA. So
we have 3 Bitmap Valleys.
3 Bitmap Valleys, right? Yeah.
So we are very can't wait for this, man. We can't wait to start building in there. It's gonna be so much fun. But without further ado, let's bring in the man, the myth, the legend himself, IMSO Chris. Welcome to Ordinal Revolution for the 5th time, friend.
Dude, I think it's 4, but
yeah, it's 4.
Yeah, I would say I think it's 4. I think, but maybe. Well, the TA day didn't we talk about this shit? I think this is number 4. Okay. I think this is number 4. Okay. Yeah. Welcome to the ghetto here. No, the sheet. I'll address it with the audience. They were like, "Hey, Chris, you want to like change your background?" Nah, dog. I ain't here to lie to nobody. I got kids and all kinds of kid shit and TVs and shit back there. Fuck y'all. I will put up a thing, and at one point it may change to a green screen, and I haven't decided yet. So it is what it is. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Trying to stay up to my morals here and just get out of bed and do something, right? You boys have always been so accommodating to me. I appreciate you so much. You have no idea. Anyway, plus we're cooking more shit like more often, so we gotta be here, you know. And who better to help the community than you guys? So, but yeah, we'll go over a couple things and make it pretty straightforward today. You guys just let me know where you want to go.
All right. Well, let's jump right into the Bitmap Valley updates. I think everybody's probably eager to see that. I'm gonna add your screen there.
Yeah, absolutely. You can go ahead and add that screen. I'm going to switch over to Twitter real quick and just share this tab real quickly. So basically, anyone who wants to watch more of an overview, these are on my highlights page. So if you're on my profile, post, replies, highlights, you scroll down a little bit and you'll see basically a short breakdown of what we're going to go over today. But there is one new thing that we're working on, and we're going to roll out all these updates pretty quickly. And as you can see, these ones that are saying "and coming soon," those are basically next in queue, and almost everything is done. So the next couple weeks should be pretty fun for Bitmap Valley. And it's going to give everybody an opportunity to start exploring more. Obviously, you guys know we have the Ordinal as well. I did kind of want your guys' feedback on this. If you like the idea of having a pixel art PFP and a 3D asset matching, or if you think you'd rather have a 3D PFP. I don't think people like the 3D PFPs. I think people like the art PFP, like... What do you guys think? Ooh. I think it's great having both. I think you should have a pixel art PFP and a 3D avatar that matches it.
Yeah. What would be the difference, though, I guess, from like an offering perspective? Like additional cost for the 3D?
No, it's just additional utility is what it is.
I love the 3D, actually.
Yeah, I love 3D
sick.
as well.
It looks so sick, doesn't it? Look at that, dude.
Yeah.
That's what I love it.
I love it. I would choose that over the pixel, honestly.
See, that's how I feel, but, you know, we've tried this in the past where we wanted to let people make custom 3D avatars. They weren't really interested. No one wanted to do it. And so it made me wonder, you know, should we do pixel art PFP for the Twitter norm, right? Because on Twitter, that's how you are found, how you're seen, and everything seems to be 2D. The only ones who've really done it well is Kid Called Beast. And I don't see that many of them out there anymore. Like whatever they were like pumping, they were everywhere. But now, and Klanosaurs have done a pretty good job as well. But that's basically just like a 2.5D headshot. You do have Degen Ape Academy. They'd be the finest example. And I really do like that project. But with Bitcoin, it's like, I don't know that we've even really seen anyone do a 3D asset yet. And I suppose we could give you the option to switch between the PFPs as an example. But yeah, the point was that the 3D one would only exist inside of game worlds,
Yeah.
or be an FBX file the person who owned the PFP would be able to download at some point. So then you could basically make your own PFP of it, but it's not inscribed on chain. You know what I'm saying? So like that's kind of so yeah, well fuck you. I guess everyone leave a comment and let me know in my DMs or flame me on my timeline and tell me if you want both or you would prefer one over the other. I mean, if you prefer the pixel art PFP, then go fuck yourself. You're going to have a 3D asset whether you want it or not, right? The 3D asset's coming with it no matter what.
Yeah.
But it would actually be a lot easier on us if everybody was like, nah, dude, we just want 3D avatars. We don't want the art. I'd be like,
nah, dude, we just want the 3D avatars, bro. Screw the pixel.
dude. If I get enough consensus on that, we wouldn't even do the PFPs. We don't need to do the PFPs. We're good at doing the 3D. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Yagobi?
I was going to say, like, when you did try out the custom 3D avatar, what did that look like? Could they just customize their own PFP themselves, or how did it look?
Yeah, so I don't think it's online anymore. I think we took it down. I might have some videos of it, but basically you would bring your chimps to, and we started with the robotic chimp, and then we just didn't even follow up with the evolved chimp because like no one gave a shit. So one of the small parts of our collection is these robotic chimps, and they were basically the chimps that were built to evolve the regular monkeys on the planet, which eventually become us humans, right? It's the story of the Anunnaki or whatever. So basically those robots, you would bring them into a 3D customizer engine that we built, and you would customize colors, the traits. There was all kinds of shields and items and assets that we had for them. And you would basically go deck your guy out top to bottom, and all the colors, the wires, everything was customizable. And then at the very end, you would position him. You'd have 3 options to position him and a plethora of backgrounds to choose from. You would basically take that image right there, and we had a script written where whatever NFT token ID you just saved this new model under, we would extract a JPEG, upload it to Arweave, and overwrite the token data on chain, so the NFT in your wallet would change and become the 3D asset you just made inside of the customizer. Started as just a generic robotic chimp. You went in and customized everything about it, saved it, it updated on chain, and now it shows in your wallet an NFT that has been fully customized. Well, plenty of people did it, but not with enough intent for us to care. And it was a little over people's heads at the time, because this was like at the beginning of 2022. This is like in the first 3 months of 2022. It was way over people's heads.
Gotcha.
So we wound up resetting all the robotic chips to the black animated GIF, and now we're looking at how to basically bring that avatar. Well, you'll see me playing with it, but like we've got plans for customization. I'll just say that much.
Gotcha.
Sounds awesome.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So anyway, that's Twitter. If anyone has any questions, I would love feedback on the ordinals. The thing is, they're going to have a fuck ton of utility. Like, obviously, if there's a 3D asset alongside a pixel art PFP, it gives us a way to identify you out of game and in game. And it also gives you a way to transcend. Plus, if you wanted to be part of a 2D environment or a 2D game, you could with this asset because it is pixel art. It can be animated. I mean, it's like a full vector, right? It can be animated. And then you've got the 3D asset, which can be rigged and imported into other games. We can even allow a downloadable version of that asset, so you could bring it into your own games, like into a different game, like a Portals or a Sandbox or a Crypto Voxel or VR Chat or whatever it might be, and represent yourself inside of those environments as well. And then we have the tap tokens and the token staking, which kind of brings us to the BRC20, right? A lot of people, which again, we didn't even. It's going to blow your mind when you see how many buys and sales have happened on a token that I have not promoted or promised anything behind. It's absolutely crazy. So essentially, these guys are going to be some of the main earners inside of the Bitmap Valley ecosystem and all the mini games that are being built and attached to it, because Bitmap Valley is just a construct, right? It's like a tool for all of us to understand the metaverse space a little better, and there are some monetization options for people, but more than anything, it's almost like having your own little island that, yes, can you travel between islands? Sure. Are there other people with islands? Absolutely. Is there real estate on these islands that you could share with others? Yes. But it's more like an overall idea, where this is like your, what would you call, like your habitat or your biodome or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you can welcome people into that, and we can bridge those connections. But that's really just a really small part of the point here. If it's just a boring ass metaverse, then no one's going to give a shit. It's fantastic that it's non-arbitrary in the way that it's built, and it's awesome that we can offer certain perks to the early adopters and all of that stuff, but it has to become more than just this little metaverse as a service product. You have to have more options than just hanging out in your district, right?
Yeah.
And so these guys are going to represent basically the owners in a more custom format, but they're also going to be the bases that are used to build out all the other utilities. So as we want to integrate things that are specific to inscriptions, and we want to build new rules for token gating, new reward systems, tournaments, play to earn, staking options, multi-token options, multi-chain earning options, I can verify that you own this ordinal and allow you to use the 3D avatar inside a game on a different blockchain and earn a currency that is not native to Bitcoin, right? So there are a lot of crazy ass things that we'll be able to do, but we're not going to be able to do them for everybody at once. So we need a set of avatars that are owned by our community that we can build value for. And then as we build all these different literally, I mean, just multi-chain utilities for these ordinals. They're going to be the first ordinal that has there's 5 different things that we're doing that hasn't been done on ordinals yet with this collection. I'll just say that for now. So if we progress that into a larger scale, we need a base framework to do it from. So why not build all that technology into the ordinals and then allow that to benefit all the ordinal holders and allow those to work in tandem with the Bitmap Valley district holders? And basically, if you have a founders district and an ordinal, you've got the 2 keys to the kingdom, and you're basically going to get access and unlockables to everything that we build just moving forward. So and this is also how you kind of separate it, because if there's 1,000 ordinals and 1,000 Bitmap Valley districts, it won't all be, not everyone's going to have 1 and 1. And there's some people who are like, oh, I see why I would want the ordinal. It's first off easier to sell on a secondary market, less work, and it's kind of fun. It's something I'm used to. Where other people are like, no, you're underestimating the Bitmap Valley real estate prospect. You don't understand the parceling prospect. You don't understand it's scalable and you can make passive income from it. So there's one person's arguing I want to be the landlord and I want to be tied to this thing forever. And another guy's like, man, that's a lot of work. I just kind of want a personalized character that earns me shit and that I can sell on the secondary pretty easily when I'm ready. Okay, I understand both people, and I need to build utilities and concepts for both types of people. So in order to do that, we do a collection of districts, we do a collection of ordinals, and then that tech can be not necessarily sold to other projects, but repurposed to create partnerships, branding deals, and all of those will come with free whitelists, free mints, free airdrops, whatever it might be, right? To the holders of just these assets. And then all of the Onwa holders, they will get first come, first serve, like whitelist for minting stuff, but none of it'll be free unless you have the 100 Onwa tokens. And then those wallets that have 100, which is almost every wallet that has them, it pretty much has 100 in them. There's only like how many ever holders, but the goal is to have only 21 holders. Those taproots just always get free mint, free mint, free mint, right? They're eligible for 2 free ordinals. They're eligible for all the token drops, but that's only 20 people. So between those 20 people and then the 1,000 people, are not quite 1,000, but the hundreds of people that would own the ordinals and the hundreds of people that would own the districts, that brings you to a pretty low amount of people that you have to cater to. And then if some things are more scarce than others, they can be specific to one or the other. Or they can have like a trickle down, like if you have 3, or if you have both a founder district and you have an ordinal, you're in the first tier. And if you've got one or the other, you're in the second tier. And then if you're only holding these assets, you're in the third tier. Whatever. You guys get it.
Yeah.
This ain't going
All
away
right.
anytime soon. This ain't. This
Gotcha,
isn't
gotcha.
even
So there's
close to over.
1,000 of these assets. Are all the 3D renderings complete of this, or are you guys still working on the 3Ds for?
No, they're being finished. Like the
Gotcha.
art's almost finished, and so the 3D is being worked on. So these are goal is like January.
Gotcha.
It gives us time to figure out the infrastructure of where we're at right now and finish up what we're doing here. Come into January, create monetization options for the people who are currently involved, and then release out the ordinals. It gives everybody plenty of time to prepare, essentially. And we are only allowing a pretty limited amount of pre-sales of these. Like, we did, all of the Bitmap Valley founder districts as pre-sales. For the ordinal, there's only like 180 of them. It would be 220 total that we would allow for pre-sale, because we also have a holder community on Solana. For every 10 evolved chimps that someone has on Solana, they will only get 1 ordinal, which also establishes a base price for the ordinal and puts a lot of pressure on the Solana collection when it comes to rolling this out. Also, those Solana assets will be frozen for a certain amount of time. Once they're submitted to claim for the ordinal. That's because we don't want people just like basically taking advantage of either ecosystem. If one is doing better than the other, you shouldn't be able to take advantage of it. It should be a hard decision. So basically, when people do sign up to give us their taproot for their mint, because they have 10 IMSO evolved chimps, those chimps are going to get frozen for 6 months in their wallet. So they won't be able to sell them on the secondary. And that gives us an opportunity to not only establish a price outside of mint price for the ordinals, but it also keeps the collections from like affecting each other in a negative way. Essentially, they basically become an overall positive. And then the 3D assets that are being created for the ordinals, those will also be iterated into our games. So your ordinals avatar will actually be your playable character, not just in Bitmap Valley, but the other games as well. Even the ones that aren't out yet, that are in the hack and slash game that's being worked on. So you become your ordinal. That's never been done yet in a way that's transcends multiple games and can even travel multiple chains. Like, it's really awesome.
So I mean, like, I really like the that you guys are doing this, because for me, I feel like if I'm going to be in this immersive world, I want to connect my identity to it, right? And you're able to do that using this process. Now, let's say that this goes smooth, and I have an ordinals project. I'm a founder of an ordinal collection, and I want to migrate or like, replicate a 3D rendering as well. Is that service that you guys are going to offer?
Yeah, we already offer it. We've done a few collections already for people, not just the one-offs. Like, you guys have seen us do some of the one-offs.
Yeah, the one-offs.
we've created the entire collection of DTP as assets. They haven't been used yet, but they are ready to go. Famous Foxes and a couple others. So we've absolutely already made collections, and we're actually making. There's 2 ordinal projects. One of them wants to have their whole collection made as 3D assets.
Yeah, that's what I
And
mean.
yeah. Yeah, I'm doing there is an ordinal project right now that we are working with on a mini game that is part of Bitmap Valley, a custom world that is part of Bitmap Valley, and like 800 something ordinals that will all have 3D
Okay,
counterparts
so
as well.
that's great. Like, so I think that definitely is heading in the right direction in terms of like connecting your identity to the Bitmap Valley. Um, do you have any plans? Sorry, Shizzy, I know I'm asking back-to-back questions
No,
here,
dude,
but
let's run it.
so do you have plans for Bitmap Valley to ever have like almost this open source type of feel to where, because I imagine that you guys eventually will have a marketplace there. But like, let's say I want to deploy, I want to give it a shot, and I want to like, okay, I want to create an asset in Bitmap Valley that I can deploy, that I can add to your marketplace, kind of like what BRC 420 is. Is that something that's in y'all's plans, or are you guys doing something different for that?
No, all of that's viable. It's like, so in the short term, like I really love what they're doing over there, but what they're doing over there is nothing like what we're doing over
Yeah,
here.
it's different for sure.
This is completely different. Mine is set up to be like ours can grow into a Roblox style engine that all functions with assets that are on chain or verified tokens of like 4 assets in game that are on chain. So like this is and it also allows us to plug in any outside source. Like it's not like just what we're building or just our framework works here. No, we can pull sources from outside in, and we can actually allow for other games to like coexist inside of this bigger
Multi-chain
ecosystem.
too, right?
And multi-chain, not only multi-chain, but you also have the ability to transfer items, right? So like a sword that you earn in one world could be used as a weapon in a game because they're made like from the same 3D parts. Does that make sense? Like basically the game engine's close enough, all the models are the same, which means the assets should transcend. So whether we're building this, like whether it's this game or it's this game, the assets are essentially the same because they were designed that way so that they were transferable, so that you could find value in multiple arenas from one asset instead of needing a different asset for each game versus the metaverse versus a social space. It should all be one, you know. And you guys saw an example of this in the early stages of Bitmap Valley when you were in the arcade playing the Endless Runner game, and you could like play the Endless Runner game as the same avatar you were standing inside the metaverse of. And you're like, well, this is such a surreal thing because I'm using Easy Eats Bodega's dog to walk up to the arcade. And then when I play the arcade, I'm also playing as Easy Eats Bodega's dog. Okay, it's supposed to feel surreal for a moment. You're supposed to grasp onto this idea that you are one character that can transcend the boundaries of what gaming previously was. You are now your character across games, across chains, call it across dimensions, whatever the fuck, dude. I don't know. To me, it's like, it's amazing to think, wow, I could have access to all of these products and services, and I'm using the same character, and I'm getting stacking rewards and benefits, and I'm not even being limited by the chain anymore because these crazy motherfuckers have figured out how to make these chains talk together using the game engine as like basically an interpreter. This is way different, and it scales forever. Like there's no flat line, but because it is all in 3D, it just takes time. So like we thought ordinals, like, okay, Could we just let you create your own 3D marketplace where you could just list your own shit? Yes, but who cares about that? No one goes to individual marketplaces unless you're shilling them the individual marketplace. Well, it's hard enough to get them into your district, right? So you need a way to get them into your district with something that's more familiar. So we chose Magic Eden and Ordinal's wallet marketplace as an example because those are marketplaces that are actually used. And now if you want to maybe build a gallery that attaches to that marketplace, and now you have a place for people to view and purchase things from an exchange that's got what you're looking for. Well, that's different than just like, hey, welcome to my district, this is my shop, you can buy what I've put on my shop from me.
Yeah, that makes
Well,
sense.
sure, one day we could do that if there was a good if there was a good reason for us to do that, like
Demand, right? You need
correct
demand.
demand. No one's asking for that.
Got
So but can we? Yes. And before that, what would I prefer? I would like to create it to where you could upload your own GLB files first, to where you can import your own objects and assets into Bitmap Valley
Yeah.
without breaking the physics or the rules around
Framework.
the game engine. Correct.
Yeah.
So that you can become more of a builder or creator, and then you could sell your services or your assets to other players. And this is why it's very important for us to open up BRC20 and tap token rails, because we want to make sure that there are plenty of currencies, because if you just start asking people for actual Bitcoin or Satoshis, they might tell you to fuck off, but they might be willing to pay you some Ordi or some Sats or some Rats or something like that, right?
That makes sense. And they actually did admit, they said that, Recursive did. They said, look, what builders like Bitmap Valley and Foxy are doing is definitely different. Theirs.
And this isn't supposed to knock, dude.
Yeah. I know you're not doing that.
They're doing the cool. Listen, I think what they're doing is fucking cool as shit, and I think it's smart as fuck. I just think people are conflating these concepts like we're all competitors or something. Recursiverse is not a fucking competitor. They are doing some dope ass shit on a 2D scale that is fucking fun as shit, and I've seen that successful before. Savannah DAO and stuff like that. Now, you know who should be worried about Recursiverse? My Bit Kingdom. My Bit Kingdom, guys, you guys are awesome, but you want to talk about competition. Damn, son. That's got to be making you sweat a little bit, right? Yeah. I'm lucky that I'm not dealing with that yet. I'm sure at some point someone will come out of left field with some good ass 3D tech where I'm like, ah, shit, Saeed. All right, we got to go knock these guys off their fucking pedestal. But like, right now, I don't have to deal with that. You know, I'm the one they're trying to knock off the pedestal right now is how it feels. But Recursiverse, whoo, boy, they are leading that whole, like, they're doing such a good job with Recursiverse. I'm not even entertained of trying to get involved in any way. Like, it's perfect, the trajectory they're on and the concepts they're doing. And it's such a fun little social, easy to digest.
Yeah, and that's what
good.
they said. They said that like they can't go to the extent of the detail that you guys do in terms of what you're building because they're trying to stay limited to native. Like, but
100%
with that, like you have to accept that you're going to be in 2D. You have to accept that you're not going to have the intricacies of being in the 3D environment like what you guys are building. And actually, now that you say that, it's almost like there's like two separate categories here. There's like the 2D like simplistic kind of
spaces.
Like
spaces.
L1 Bitcoin L1 limitation practical route, and then there's the like we're gonna connect L1 into like the high valuable assets, but the experience is gonna be more immersive and more like futuristic and stuff like that. Does that sound right?
Sure.
That's pretty right. I mean, the only thing is that I don't want people to conflate the concept of Bitmap Valley being like something that's more centralized or under control, because all of the logic is written to only function if yes or no's are answered from the blockchain. So nothing can be done unless it's confirmed by the Bitcoin blockchain that it should or should not be done. Gotcha. So like, yes, the engine itself is our game engine, but all function and logic of that game engine is literally predicted by whether you do or do not have the access based on the yes or the no output from the Bitcoin blockchain. So that's very important for us to like stress is if you want video games to work with blockchains, then that means they have to connect to those blockchains and communicate with them. That is how it works. That is literally how it works. There is no other option unless you do what Recursiverse is doing and you bring this like 8-bit 2D thing, which is awesome. And I love it because when I grew up, those were my favorite styles of games. Yeah. So and here's a thing where I don't have anything to gain from them, but they could be streamed from Bitmap Valley. They could be made accessible. Your Recursiverse space could easily be shared inside of an arcade, which maybe we should go to that if you guys want to go to that. But that is, well, here's the Evolve token. I guess I'm already on Unisat.
Yeah.
The fuck? Look at all these buys, dude. Who's buying these? There are 7 pages. I don't know who's buying any of these. All right. So anyway, we created this the other day. Don't know how any of this happened. Okay. I literally just put a post on Twitter that said, yes, this is ours, so that people didn't get confused if they did put 2 and 2 together in the future. And I just expected everyone to be like, oh, okay, ask me questions. Maybe we'd slowly mint it over who knows if whatever.
Yeah, look at the deploy time and the completed time. It's like 5 hours.
It's unbelievable. I
3
didn't.
hours.
Oh, sorry, you cut out. Were you talking? I was talking over you.
No. It says the deploy time is 12:37. The complete time is 4:30. That's wild.
It minted out super fast, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry. For some reason, Shiz randomly is going robot on me. It might be my fault though. Okay. But yeah, I don't know what happened there within 4 hours. I don't know why anyone submitted 20,000. It was like 16 or 18,000 transact. I have no idea what the fuck.
I know you've talked about tap tokens before. Is this Evolve token? Do you have plans on once that bridge is ready to make it accessible to go back and forth, or can you speak on that?
So pretty much this will be how we do this. I've already created a tap token called Evolve. Right, and it has a 75 million supply. There is also an SPL token called Evolve with a 75 million supply, and now there is a BRC20 called Evolve with a 75 million supply. The SPL and the BRC20 will have a conversion rate of 5-to-1 into the tap asset, and the tap asset will be the primary form if we can get it all worked out, but these are ifs, right? We would like the tap token to be the primary form of value transfer inside of Bitmap Valley, or at least with the chimps and some of the cosmetics and assets. Basically, all the utility that we're personally building, we would like to drive value. We do want to incorporate some use cases for Sats, Ordi, Track, OXBT, and obviously the tap BRC20 when it's available. But outside of those 5 assets, those are mostly to bring players in. So we could allow there to be a conversion rate for every token into the tap token if it's the cheapest and fastest and easiest way to do, fungible transfer. So we don't know if it will be great. If it won't be, we have other plans, such as having a BRC20 token that can still be pegged to some other token inside of our ecosystem and providing basically the base price and liquidity for that other asset. And then we also have the ability to allow you to connect to your Phantom wallet. Even though you're connected to Bitcoin inside Bitmap Valley, you're able to launch and sign a payment from a Solana or receive a payment from a Solana wallet while you're inside Bitmap Valley if you have Phantom on your computer. So you don't ever leave your Bitcoin wallet. You don't ever leave Bitmap Valley. It just sees that inside of the browser, you do have a Phantom connection. And if you choose you would like to buy or pay with Solana assets, you can choose that, and it'll allow you to, it'll open up Phantom, it'll have you approve, and then Phantom will go away. Never left your Xverse. You never left Xverse. You never left Bitmap Valley. Okay. So that's a way that we can bring, some of the liquidity in users or some of the, I guess, earning potential from Solana and from Bitmap Valley a little bit closer. So the BRC20 and the Solana token could be exchanged inside of our game engine for the tap asset, because you got to remember tap assets don't have a ton of support right now, and they also don't have like lot secondary markets and things like that, and we are still trying to bridge two chains. So the thought process here was, okay, well, BRC20 does work, and BRC20 does have marketplaces, and BRC20 is widely adopted. Same with SPL tokens, right? So if it's easy to buy and sell a BRC20 or an SPL token, then we should make sure that those both exist, and then those assets can be interchangeable inside of the Bitmap Valley ecosystem. So inward and outward. So if you earn a bunch of tap version of the BRC20 inside of our ecosystem, then you could go trade that tap for the Evolve token or for the SPL that we would have in a treasury. So like when someone spends their BRC20 to create a tap, we basically lock that BRC20 and we release them the tap. So we have the reserves, we have the 1-to-1, so that in the future, if somebody wants to come and do it the opposite way, then we can take tap from them and give them BRC20. That all happens inside of Bitmap Valley, but it means that you can earn assets on tap in Bitmap Valley, and then using the Bitmap Valley engine, change those tap assets into either an SPL token for Phantom, right, through the game engine, or into a BRC20 for your Xverse, and then actually have markets to sell those assets on. Or if you want more of the tap token, you can go buy some of the BRC20 token and come and exchange it, right? Because we just lock it up. Kind of like how people think about wrapping tokens, right? Like peg tokens. We're basically going to use the tap token as the peg token, but the value is going to be derived from the market value of the BRC20 or the SPL that's attached. So the SPL hasn't been released yet. We still have that, like, the whole supply waiting. We don't know how we're going to approach that on Solana, but we do know how we're going to approach it on Bitcoin, and it's right in front of you. A BRC20 that has a 5-to-1 ratio to the tap token inside of the ecosystem. Well, Chris, that doesn't add up. You have 75 million of each. Why wouldn't it be 1-to-1? Because you haven't been following along very closely. Some of those tap tokens are for Ordinal owners to earn, for tournaments and play to earn rewards, and for the founder districts to stake their property as real estate and gain like a tax every month for doing so. So 50% of that supply is for the people that are involved in the ordinals and the founder districts. The other 50% of that supply is to be interchangeable with the BRC20 and the SPL token, plus a small percentage, like I said, for tournaments. But 50% is for P2E, ordinals, and founder district members.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, it looks like you guys are trying to really create, like,
an economy.
Yeah, a Bitcoin ecosystem economy without having to use Bitcoin or your sats other than fees. Also kind of intertwining some other chains into it as well. Is that the approach?
Yeah, plus giving utility to multiple tokens and multiple ecosystems, because like you want to be able to allow support from other places into our place so that you've got reasons for people to come enjoy the Valley. So if you want to be a vendor, how you were just talking about with like creating assets and selling them, would you like to be able to sell them to people who are only willing to spend Bitcoin, or would you like to be able to sell them to people who are willing to spend the top BRC20 tokens or have been earning passive income through this, that, and the other, and to them it's free, or to them it was cheap, or like the guys today who minted 1,000 Ordi for $2 or $3, they're pulling out $32,000 on that $2 or $3. To them it was $2 or $3, so they're more likely to spend their Ordi before they turn it into Bitcoin than they are to spend the Bitcoin after they've sold their Ordi. Does that make sense?
100%.
So, and also these aren't very liquid markets, right? They might have some some fair price value to them. But if an Ordi is $28 or $32, how many of those can you sell on like Unisat before you start to really affect the price? So in some instances, people could have a token that they don't really want to dump, or maybe they're like a whale who's being watched and they don't want social, like, you know, they don't want the social blowback or something. Well, then let's give them a way to use that token, or a place to, you know, provide utility for that token and kind of create a new distribution of hands. Because like if one whale is dumping a whole bunch, that's totally different than one whale spending that asset amongst hundreds of people, and then those hundreds of people have a, you know, a small, much smaller fraction divided between them than that one whale does. So now that whale got some other value prospect out of it, which he can go sell because that is his prerogative. And then the people who wanted what the whale had just got it distributed amongst them. And most of those people probably aren't going to dump it. And even if they were going to dump it, they have such a minute amount in comparison to the one whale that is now distributed to 300 holders. Those 300 holders can't, like, one of them can't really affect the market. Even like 10 or 20 of them can't really affect the market. And even if some of them try to affect the market, some of the other people may buy it back up. But the chances of like all 200 or 300 people basically dumping an asset at once is a lot less likely than one whale going and dumping an asset. So for us, it's more about like, how do you create some form of liquidity without there really being liquidity? Well, it comes down to utility and like wrapping assets and escrow services, and then just providing use cases for these tokens, whether it's me versus you in a combat, or it's you selling a service, or it's you doing a consultation, or it's providing a token gating stream. You know, like you could just make people hold a token just to have access to your world. They don't ever have to buy it or sell it. They just have to hold it, and they just need one. It's just whatever you want to do is kind of our plan, is whatever you want to do. But how do we even set the example of any of this shit? Well, we kind of have to build it. So BRC20 Evolve will be interchangeable with other assets inside of Bitmap Valley, and it will have a specific conversion rate to the TAP token, meaning that you can fully benefit from Bitmap Valley's passive or, you know, skill-based income, and then trade it for something that you can immediately sell on a secondary market. That's really all it comes down to, dude. Yeah. If as TAP infrastructure gets adopted in more wallets, which trying to get a hold, you know, me and Jan have a call coming up soon. But if we can get some more infrastructure support
that's some sneaky alpha you just dropped in there.
I didn't even say his name right, so people may not even know who I'm talking about.
You pronounced it like how Shizzy did the first time.
Mm-hmm. So, like, basically, if we can get some infrastructure support for TAP, then we can just let you buy the TAP token with the Evolve token, and then we can burn the Evolve token.
Yeah,
but
so many possibilities with that.
Well, until TAP has support, though, what am I supposed to tell you to do?
Yeah, true. It's coming.
Okay,
it has to be coming though, because you know, with Benny having the support, you know, with backing with Scry Labs, and then also just different partnerships and stuff. It just seems like that demand is just building up for support. If the mainstream wallets don't adopt it, then they'll just eventually have to be forced to create a separate wallet.
I don't disagree, but I know at least one
that's on board
project that's pretty smart. I'm just saying they're smart motherfuckers and they don't typically do dumb shit. That's all I'm saying.
Gotcha.
All right. So I don't think I was able to show much of this to you guys, but the post that was on the Twitter that I showed kind of goes over this in the course of a 10-minute video. But if I do walk up to them, you get a sense of what they are. Ballroom Marketplace. I think that one's Ordinal Wallet Marketplace. No, this one's Ordinal Wallet Marketplace. This one's Magic Eden. And then this one's the Ballroom. Haven't installed an arcade yet. You'll look over here. You'll notice there's a door down there, and there's a door right there. Whenever I walk up to this door right here, let's go ahead and see what its name is. Its name is apartment number 223 because it is attached to parcel number 223.
Gotcha.
Okay. So if I want to start building out a real estate district, basically I can come to a top view of my city and I can start looking at some of course I really like this block, so I don't particularly want to move too much stuff from here.
That's pretty cool. Like
So
is that the desert underneath it?
okay, yeah, there's going to be a bunch of options for you guys, though. I don't really like these ones that look like whatever, but this is dev server, so I'm not going to go through and customize on it. But yes, that is like a desert, and there's like the night sky, but there's like, I've requested like 10 other backgrounds for just the environment because I just want you to make it feel like however you want it to feel. And that's another thing we would like to allow you to custom upload is images and HTML files, but there are security risks with that. So we have to make sure that we've got everything P'd and Q'd out because like we have infrastructure that if you break it can be costly to users. We're not just playing pretend here and streaming like this is real infrastructure. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So basically I can come to a top down of my a top down version of my city and I can demolish buildings, right? Oh, I need to log back in. I let it sit for too long, guys. It was sit open for too long. The Cloudflare kicked me out. Give me 1 second because I actually have to go in through a URL. You see how it wouldn't post you there? It's because we've got it. Because we've got it locked down. 1 second. There's an admin panel I go through in order to access it when we're in this state. Well, because we had someone try to DDoS us one time, dude. It was like, wow. Yeah, it was crazy for like no reason. And it was still when we were pretty friendly about this inside of, I'm pretty sure I know who it was, but it is what it is. So 1 second here.
We'll call him out. You can call him out if you want.
No, because everyone likes him. He knows who he is too.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, I like him still as a person, but only because like enemies closer type thing. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Yeah, I gotcha.
All right. Anyway, so all right, now I'm back in there. Hi. So if I want to come out and like this is a big ass building, and I may not ever use this big ass building right here, right? But what it could do is free up some real estate for me to create something that I do care about. Uh-oh. It didn't let me demolish the building. I know that instances are working, but yep, so on DevNet, they must have it disabled because they're uploading it to mainnet. Well, if you watch the video on Twitter, if you watch the video, the only reason I came on here is to show you personal parcel, just so you guys could see what that would look like. Yeah, and I'm literally just trying to give you a fucking ideology. So let's just give you the ideology. The ideology would be you would look at the top down of your city. You could even run to the middle of it to get a better look. But like some of these tall ass buildings that you may find to be like non-aesthetically pleasing, or some of the larger buildings that you don't know what you want to purpose there yet, and you just want to kind of make like a neighborhood as an example. You can go into these buildings and demolish them, which removes them off of the platform. They are no longer there. Those parcels are gone. And you can open up the space so that you can then go in. And so like, for instance, you see these 4 little buildings right here in front of me. So these 4 little buildings right here in front of me would be a lot more aesthetically pleasing to me if I were to delete this building and instead of installing the door on the front here, install it on the side to where it was almost like I was walking up into those 4 buildings, right? Mm-hmm. But whenever I have this guy right here behind me, let's exit this real quick. When I have this guy up here behind me, it makes me feel like, okay, I don't want to be between this brick wall and these buildings. But I do like these buildings as little pieces of property. And I actually can kind of see along the side here, there's several of them that I'm kind of fans of. So if I wanted to come in and remove the ones that I don't really like the placement of, and then open up the floor plan a little bit there, not only do I not have such a mess, but I also have more real estate over here that could be used for other things, such as players or what we consider, I don't know if we consider them cosmetics, but like objects that you'll be able to set inside it. Like, you know how in the town square space, we've got like the signage and like there's like the rotating balls and like the fan thing and Blockamoto on a statue and moving blocks and stuff like that. Well, we want to allow you guys to put stuff like that in here. I guess you consider them, what would you call them? Like
marketing,
like well, like they're like monuments or something, right? Like what are they? Like statues or however you would. I don't know why I can't describe it right now, but I think you know what I'm saying. They're like different as like
their exterior design is what it is, right? Like I know what you're thinking of too. My mind's been blank.
I don't know why it's blanking right now, but it's like kind of like ornaments on your fucking lawn, right? It's like your yard or whatever. So I want you to be able to have a little more control of that in here, or in some of the larger, like, again, I'm a pretty big fan of this one. There's like a couple buildings I could get rid of and be okay, but I actually really like this block, especially with whenever I customize the way that the streets look and I start breaking down what I would actually want to do in here and how to connect things to here. I am a huge fan of this one, but I could see why some people wouldn't want to necessarily get hung up. Plus, you got floor bitmaps could have so many transactions on them, right? You need to be able to come in and like remove stuff and basically segregate things from each other and create little blocks. So you could have a little block area that you want to be real estate parcels. You could have a little block area that's supposed to be more of like a little social space that has the arcade and the ballroom maybe over there, and then just like an open floor plan. So you could go from having like 40 blocks in a square to just having 2 or 3 in that square and having a whole bunch of open space that you could do more on in the near future. So that's kind of the way that I hope people approach the demolishing thing, is like your district is generated based on your bitmap data, but that doesn't mean it has to stay that way. It's just a non-arbitrary way of bringing together a subset of information that represents something in a virtual space. You should have control over whether that district continues to look like that bitmap or not. The point is, it couldn't be generated without that bitmap. So even with some level of customization, or with you making alterations to the virtual space inside of Bitmap Valley for that bitmap, it doesn't really take away the fact that there's only X amount of those bitmaps and only X amount can be produced per day. So they're still non-arbitrary. It is still very finite, and the thing cannot exist without the bitmap data to begin with. What happens after it exists is really up to you, the user. So, as example, with this one, I put in one of the personal instances, and there are actually, hold on, I don't know if I actually put anything in this one over here in number 23. So you can name them anything you want, but I thought, hey, why wouldn't you just name them after the parcel, you know, that they're doing, so it doesn't get lost on people. So when I click on the building, it's parcel number 223. So I named it apartment 223. I chose a personal room. I created a door. I saved, right? And I don't have to change anything because it's already been done. So now whenever I walk up to this door, hold on, let me walk away from it. Walk up to my door. All right. I do not want to refresh this motherfucker again. Give me 1 second. And these are why we haven't released them to you guys yet, because we've got the whole thing going. I even made a video, but I thought instead of releasing the video, let's just go do it. I know if I refresh it, everything works fine, but that pisses me off more than anything. You should not have to refresh a fucking game. Yeah, because of me going in and trying to save it and then not saving it. So those are little things that I basically show to Saeed where I go, hey, I shouldn't have to refresh this if I saved it. And he goes, okay. And then it's usually fixed. But if he doesn't know, he doesn't know. So I'll load it one more time here. It'll jump right in. And you guys, I don't know what it was showing, but it shouldn't have shown anything crazy.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure. I just wanted to make sure.
Oh, and look, it even removed the fucking building. You see? You see the big building? It even demolished the big building. Maybe he's pushing these. All right, so we're not the best communicators, okay? We talk a little bit, but he may be pushing some of these updates like literally while I'm on here with you guys.
That's what I was thinking, man.
Look, it just immediately works. You know what I mean? I'm like, oops. All right. Well, maybe I'm getting ahead of it. All right. So here's a blank space, and it doesn't look cute, but it's small. And if you go up here, you'll see it takes you right back out to the district, which is awesome because that means it is part of Bitmap Valley. So basically, you've got your little potion over here as you would normally. Right now, for DevNet, we're just testing some of the different colors and textures. So obviously, like a wood floor, right? Or like a dark blue floor, and then on the wall you could have like this pattern, right? So now you've got basically some sort of pattern on your wall and your floor. And then the first two things that we were testing, because they're the hardest things, all the little furnitures and cosmetic stuff that you can put inside of your apartment, not hard at all to do. What's really hard to do is the YouTubes and the arcades. So YouTube, first off, it's a screen. You can see that I've got position, et cetera, back over here. So I can actually kind of come see. Now, obviously, G for translate, R for rotation, S for scale. But to me, sometimes it's easier to just go over here and just like click whether, X, Y, right? So if I look at the depth of it, I probably need to move my Z, which will bring it back. And if I move it up, I can see how much it's going. So I can go like 2,000 and see how close that is to the wall. It's pretty close to the wall. Go ahead and move it just a little bit further so it actually is setting up against it. And this, you'll get a sense for the dimensions. I think it's like 2,200 or 2,300 that gets you pretty close to the wall. But once we're close to the wall, what we can do is we can actually raise it up and we can make it a lot bigger. So let's see. Did you see me moving my head like I was going to see around? Did you see me move my head like I was going to see around a 3D? It's a flat screen. How the fuck was I going to see behind it? I wasn't going to see behind it. All right. So.
Hey, you never know. I don't know what you're building over there.
All right. So now we've got this. We can bring it up a little bit on the wall as well. And the reason we want to do that is because we actually want to make it a little bit bigger, right? So from here, I can basically just grab it and make it bigger. But then you want to go back over here and make sure that rotation, everything looks pretty good. Yep, looks pretty good. Great. So now from there, I can set the name. And I won't bore you guys with all this, but like, you know how when you're on YouTube, let's see if I can pull up a YouTube video. I'm going to pull up Eric Crown and then I'm going to pause it. All right. So right here. Hey, Eric. All right. So right here at the top where it shows V equals and then it shows video ID right there. You basically copy that and you can put that video ID right here. Hey, Crown. Wait. Oh, shit.
You stopped sharing your screen.
Ah, fuck me. Hold on.
Eric Crown owes you some advertising money, by the way.
Me and Eric, dude, he's done a lot for me over the years. Here, go ahead and show my screen.
Up all of my clothes, and that's right. See? Back to work, wench. I don't.
Back to work, wench. But anyway,
nothing.
That was like the perfect.
So as soon as I remove the video ID, it knows immediately, and then I can also put a playlist ID in there, so that I can actually set something up. And the next one will be stream ID. Right, and then you got resolution, positioning, save. So that's your big screen TV, okay? Or I can just like take it off the wall if I decide that I don't like that. And then the second one that we wanted to test, because again, kind of challenging, is arcade machine. So with the arcade machine, same difference. We just go ahead and move this bitch toward the wall and rotate her. Oh, not on the x-axis, on the y-axis. Rotate her about 90 degrees, and then I can scoot her up against the wall. And then once I scoot her up against the wall, it's a very similar thing. I create a name of the arcade. I put a title for when people walk up. I can put in the URL. Now you'll see it says iframe and external. Very important reason why. If there's a game that you want only playable directly through the arcade, that would be the iframe URL to stream directly through the arcade. But if you also want it to be, where they can go to the website or the full screen version, then you also put the external URL in here. So if they click website, it will take them to the website, but the iframe will work inside of the cabinet and inside of Bitmap Valley as like a large screen thing. So, but not only can we put like our endless runner in here, but there's like another game that we recently were working on, that we it's basically finished. Matter of fact, your community is welcome to try it if they want. But it's this shooter game. It's called it's an endless shooter. It's by a company. It's for a project that uses a token called Bang. And oh, that's a little loud. I'm gonna exit if it's that fucking loud when we get in there. That was loud as shit. But anyway, it's like just a little endless shooter game that is way too loud. So let's go ahead and go back because that is way too loud of music. But basically, any of the games that are dude, I keep doing that instead of switching tabs. Any of the games that exist inside of the IMSO ecosystem, whether it's the runner or that shooter that's getting finished up, or the boxing game that we're working on. There's also a fighting game coming with a project. So boxing and fighting are completely different. All of those different things will not only be networkable like through the Valley, but also through the arcades. They'll be streamable through browsers and mobile devices from your wallets. So it just kind of like brings everything together. Like Bitmap Valley, more than anything, is just like you could have a friend's project or a favorite project that you want to draw more attention to, and you could stream those games into this. Or you could have like a game night where you've got Slither.io streaming into your Bitmap Valley instance or whatever it might be. So that's basically the way we're looking at it. There's even cloud-based services, you know what I'm saying? Like cloud gaming. You could technically do cloud gaming, like stream cloud games into Bitmap Valley, but why would you do that? You know, there's a lot of stuff you wouldn't do, especially right now, that you can do, and that's all we're basically prepping this for is, hey, what's the most base functionality? What's the most user simple experience for them to understand? I figure arcade and TV. Cosmetics are a no-brainer. Cosmetics are like couches and tables and shit like that. It's all a no-brainer. I think being able to demolish parcels and add these instances. So when I leave this instance, yes, now it was a blank instance, right? So let's say there's people who want to own a piece of your district because they think the number's really cool, or because they think like you're really cool, or whatever it might be. They want to just be part of, like, maybe they want to own a parcel on my district as an example, right? I can go through and click on each and every one of these and install a door with a blank space, and then I can gift that to someone and they can come in and enter that space and then customize it themselves with no input from me, right?
Gotcha.
So that's the point here, is to make each one of these parcels essentially token gated by its own inscription so that you can gift or sell them, and they're infinitely cheaper because you can get like, we're able to do instant stores for very cheap, like $2 or $3, right? So $3 for an instant store means you could sell a parcel for $6. And that's just a parcel, and it's a little virtual space. And that little virtual space you just ran into with just a YouTube screen and an arcade machine is worth $10 easily. Yeah. You know, it's like easily. That's incredible. So we're trying to give that to you guys and say, all right, first thing we want you to do is come in, clear out your districts, make them a little more custom to the way. See, like, I'm so much happier with this right now. Like, do you notice I just keep kind of moving my camera like this? Okay. And while I'm talking to you, it's because I'm totally distracted. With that giant ass building out of the way, I'm so happy with this right now. And I'm thinking, damn, I need to move that door over to this side. And I'm wondering if I should do these. And then maybe I leave this one open and put the exchange over here and this one in the back. And then I could clear out some of this here. And I could open up like basically the entire row. Yeah. I'm like just thinking, I can already see, and then there's themes coming, which some of you guys may or may not know about. So, like, what if you don't want to just look like cityscape? It would be good to have themes. So themes are coming to where these buildings don't have to be buildings. They could be tree houses. They could be statues and pyramids. They could be different things like that, right? So that's very important to us also. But, yeah, I really just wanted to show off the parcels, and then we all got clusterfucked here. Sorry about that. But these things, again, couple bugs rolling out. And once those bugs are ironed out, which, I mean, I think he was just literally ironing them out. That's crazy timing. But you have to think, for Saeed, it's like 10 o'clock right now.
Yeah.
For us, it's 11:30. So it is possible that the last bit of stuff he was doing before he went to bed, we just so happened to be here. Because as soon as we refresh, look, parcels are working great. Everything's installing. The parcel's demolished. All the doors are saved.
So quick
I'm
question.
happy.
If I didn't own a Bitmap Valley, and I wanted to start playing with it, do you guys have any available? Is it sold out?
There's a few left, like I'd have to count. There's like 30 or 40 left. At this point, if there's anybody who wants to get one of those founder districts, they're more than welcome to. They're about $100 each, and they're basically going to get you all of the initial utility and the passive staking shit. You guys can go back and listen to all that. But yeah, between them and the ordinals, we don't have very much left. And once those are done, we'll just go ahead and ship everything and let it all pick up on the back end. Parceling will be next for Bitmap Valley once some of this gets done in here. So once those founder districts are gone and people see this in the future, they're not going to have an opportunity to buy public in the short term. Matter of fact, I'm wondering if I'm even going to allow public to create and sell parcels the way founder districts can create and sell parcels. My thoughts for public sale, they should still be able to demolish and install instances and have some, ability to buy and apply cosmetic stuff, but the founder districts need to be the ones that actually have the real estate, have the passive income, and get a residual off of all the public sales. So my thought is perhaps parceling is only built or reserved for founder districts. So that might be a reason, because well, if you spend 100 or so bucks on one of these, like let's just say you spend 100 bucks on a district and you spend 40 bucks on 12 doors. Okay, let's just say you do that. You spend 140 bucks, you get a district, you get 12 doors. Out of those 12 doors, you could install personal spaces on 10 of them, and you'd need to sell them for $14 a piece, and then you would be break even on your investment, and you would have 14 inhabitants inside of your parcel. And since you're going to earn tap tokens by allowing that district to be basically we're going to say staking just to keep it simple, but it's basically a form of staking where as long as your real estate is not listed and it's actively in Bitmap Valley, you will accrue a reward. Well, you could share that with the people who own your parcels. You could have your own little economy, and all of it's from the tap token. You know what I mean? So it'll be usable in other places. So that might be a reason to get a founders district, because of the parceling and being able to create a more personalized community. That's what most people are interested in the first place. But once public rolls out, that'll be like 3 months. And public will, we're not going to do public for 100 each because we're not dying to sell public spaces. But basically, we can generate any of the 820,000 bitmaps into a virtual space, all connected to the same engine. And that's where the most value, not only for us, the team, but for you, the founder district holders, every public sale, 50% goes to a pot for the public founder, or for the founder district holders. So that's very important to us.
Yeah, we're getting close to time here because football starts in
Hell yeah.
20 minutes. But is there anything else you want to share before we kind of close this out?
Nah, just want people to really understand that this is basically this is a great tipping point. Parceling instances and being able to put virtual spaces inside of these remember, each one of these buildings was a transaction on a Bitcoin block. You know what I'm saying? And now they're being deemed as parcels, but really they were just one nerd sending another nerd some money for some nerdy shit. That's how all of this was established, and now we're taking it and we're making it more personal and we're turning it into actual real estate. And I'm sure the ideas we come up with and scale with the community will be infinitely grander than anything you're seeing here. This is like an infant crawling toward the table, and when it gets to the table, it's going to put its hands up there, and that motherfucker's going to stand. And once that little bastard stands, you're not going to be able to slow his ass down until he's running all over the place. And that's what Bitmap Valley is right now. It's an infant on its way to the table, and once it finds that support, which I think we're really getting there with the community and partnership that I told you about on the phone, that I know it's a great.
I can't wait to announce it. I can't wait to announce it.
It is what it is, though. You know what I mean? It's like just, builders build, and investors invest, and skeptic. And I think that right now in this space, you've got enough investors that are willing to gamble on technology. And honestly, what we're doing here with this technology and how we're bringing in the other chains, how we're thinking of liquidity and economy, how we're preemptively preparing assets that are more tradable to be interchangeable with ones that are less tradable so that we can have a circular economy. Like, it's more than just the building and the parcel, you know? It's more than just this thing, this 3D environment, which for $100 is enough for almost anyone. But like, it's so much fucking more than this. And we're just excited. What I can't wait is for you guys to see the jungle theme, and I'll leave it at that.
All right. I'm excited for that. Sounds awesome.
Awesome.
All right. We're probably gonna skip the TA for this one, but we'll definitely have you back on to do maybe like a full TA for us again, maybe upcoming next week or something if you're down.
Yeah, but I will give everyone a 2-second piece of advice
Yeah.
since I'm there. You've got basically these two confirmations of volume on Ordi. If you do see this pullback below $30, you have to assume that about $27. So it's like, I don't think you go all the way back to 25, but I do think that you find a median, which is probably about right here, which is 2708 to like 2758. So, you know, if you're not leveraging and you're just looking to DCA, you've got a shot at 28 that is possible. But right now you need quite a bit of pressure. And until you've broken, I mean, 29.9 had a lot of volume on it yesterday, but you now have multiple inverted hammers pushing against price action. However, they're on lower volume, implying that the sellers are getting weak. And at one point, you might think it's impossible for Ordi to go up more. But remember, there's only 21 million of them, and they're already in circulation. So like with Bitcoin, we're still waiting on some of them to come in circulation. Totally different. These are all here. Market makers can do whatever the fuck they want with the entire supply. And then with Track, we just have to be mindful that we've had a lot of price action since $2. And we talked about this previously when it was at like $1.20 or whatever. It was like, hey, you buy it $1.20, you buy it 80, you average out at $1. But with the supply and the moves that have been made here and the price action from the exchange, you're not supposed to expect it to go less than $1. Well, now it's less than $2. Soon enough price action will be built up that basically this mark right here, wow, how crazy is that? It's 295, right? So it's like right now 199 is like, if this thing fucking capitulates hard, just money alone invested in it, it should bounce at $2. Soon enough consolidation will happen that fair, I guess, or that average price per user comes up to about $2.95. And then with greater time, the longer you stay above $2.95, the average cost slowly raises for the average user. So I'll just give you guys those two, and that's it. Anyway,
Awesome.
love you.
Awesome. Appreciate you, Chris, as always. And we'll reconnect for sure.
Yeah.
Like Shizzy said, I'm excited.
Alrighty, fellas. Sorry it got a little long-winded today. I need to watch some shit too. It's a fun day for everybody. In the States, we're a bunch of men. We're gonna do man thing. No, I'm just kidding.
Bacon, football, and showers. That's what we do.
Yes,
in that order.
yes. All right, fellas. Thank you again, and sorry for the little bit of
Don't be sorry, man. It was
there,
amazing.
so.
Thank you for all the updates, and we can't wait for you to break the record again. Be the most consecutive person besides me and Yagobi. So
We'll try to set like 20 minutes aside for TA sometime. You guys just let me know when. Give me a list of assets before we do it. I'll have them all ready, and then we'll just run through them real quick. All righty?
I'll be perfect.
Sounds great.
All right. Sounds good, brother.
See you, fellas.
All right.
That was fun, man. It's always enjoyable to have Chris on. He always brings the energy, brings the juice, and brings the TA. So that was really fun.
Yeah. I think it was more than anything, it was necessary because the Bitmap Valley holders and the people that are even the Evolve token holders and stuff like that, they just want to know what's the plan. And Chris does a great job in terms of explaining the plan because of the world being so intricate in terms of what they're building, right? It's definitely like segmented And so I'm excited to whenever things all get put together in one like session of being able to jump in and use a character and stuff. So
Yep. And this video will be out Monday morning, so I hope you guys are having a good start to your week. We appreciate you guys. If you cannot watch, you can definitely listen. We're on Apple, we're on Spotify, we're on all streaming platforms as of right now. And definitely check out our website, ordinalrevolution.com. We're not pushing that enough. Ordinalrevolution.com, ordinalrevolution.com. Check us out. We have articles up there of ghosty.cash and so much more. So check that out. We appreciate you guys. Hit the like, hit the subscribe for us, and we'll see you next time.
peace.